Aaliyah is talking about her first connection with R. Kelly. She is showing me that she was placed in his path. It was known to her family who R. Kelly was, and it was known to him who Aaliyah was. This was not an accident. She was placed in his path at about the age of 12, all right? So she was pretty young. On a sexual note, that happened between 12 and a half and 14 for them, like right in that time frame. They were very physical together. What she's showing me with that is I'm seeing them in a recording studio. So I'm actually seeing them in a recording studio. I'm seeing family members around them or people that were sent to watch her, you know, do that kind of thing around her. And I'm seeing the two of them sit down, and it's kind of, it reminds me of, if any of you grew up with people that played bands and played in their garage, and it was really dank and musty, and people were smoking and people were drinking, and like you'd sit on the floor and God knows what you get on your pants kind of thing. It feels like that, like I'm in some dirty kind of part of a recording studio off in the back with a dark wall. The two of them are sitting there. Now here's what's interesting. I get very vivid, very vivid pictures of her. R. Kelly is starting to kiss her. Okay, she's young. She's probably seriously 12 and a half or 13. He's moving forward towards her to kiss her. She wants him to because she thinks she's grown up. Then she's showing me behind the scenes. This is supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen, okay? So she's showing me, as much as she thought it was her intention to do this because she's a grown-up, she's a big girl, she can do this, it was already set up energetically behind the scenes. And what I'm seeing is I am seeing a packet of something in his mouth that's a liquid. And he puts it into her mouth. I actually feel like he gave her some sort of a drug, love drug, drug, I don't know what it is. There was, quote, a legal marriage between the two, but behind the scenes, the reason for it, the agenda that was not overtly out front was because there was a business connection between the two. So there's a really strong business connection between the two of these people, and Aaliyah and R. Kelly are following forward on their path to be together. It was meant to happen, and the family knew it was going to happen. They just had to get Aaliyah along with it. Jay-Z had to focus on Aaliyah in a position a little bit like she could be my wife, and he may have just thought she was hot and whatever, but it feels more nefarious than that, and it feels like it was orchestrated. She's showing me with Jay-Z is he had his eye on her, and she wanted to do stuff over here, and he wanted to consume or control. That's what this is about. He wanted to consume or control her. She wants to be independent and free form. He wants her to come with him. She's not listening either way, and therefore she needs to be taught a lesson. So now cut to the day that and I'm getting the 3 days before she stepped foot on that plane in the Bahamas. The man who they call the pilot of her plane, where there was so much, he wasn't licensed at the time, all of that. I remember that part of it. That's actually not entirely true. She wants that to be known. This pilot was put in a position to take the fall for something else that went on. There were some mechanical errors on the ground. There was something with reading, she's literally showing me this, a thing you put into the tire and you read the tire pressure. There was something with the tire pressure of the plane, and there was something with one of the instruments. One of the instruments was literally tampered with at the time or neglected. Tampered with or neglected. She kind of feels like it was tampered with. And the pilot for sure was put in the position to take the fall, and it wasn't necessarily his fault to do that. Like it wasn't this wasn't about him. He was put in that position. And by the way, he wasn't actually medicated the way that they describe on the plane. That's not true. That's a trick, she says. That's a trap. That's a trick. He